Welcome back to the Aldo Sweet Road to the Show here on MLB The Show 16. This is episode 19 of the series. As you can see, we've changed our batting stance yet again to the Joey Butler batting stance, at least for a few games. So as you can see here, we are in a game wearing our throwback unis at home against the Baltimore Orioles, up 4-0. Aldo's over 2 in the day, 1 runner on, 2-0 count. Here it comes. As Sweet's taking this one into the left center field gap. That'll roll up against the wall. Runner will go first to third. He'll hold up there. Or correction, he will head home on the double, as that's an RBI double for Aldo Sweet. So starting off the episode with a bang, and now here we are in the field, up 5-0. Ground ball to Lindor. That's a 6-4-3 double play despite the throw being into the dirt. A nice scoop from Crone over at first as we get Zach Wheeler out of the inning. So the Indians do up coming away with the victory, squeaking it out over the Orioles by a score of 5-4. Aldo goes 1 for 4 on the day. And now he comes up later on in the series against the Kansas City Royals here on the road. Top half of the first, 2 outs, nobody on. Here comes the pitch as a little chopper in front of home plate. Picked up by Perez, but Sweet's able to beat it out for an infield single, showing off some of that speed. So he comes up later on here. 1 for 1 with a single, top half of the third, down 3-0. 1 on first, 1 out. Here comes the full count pitch, as that's taken for ball 4 as he's learning to walk again. As he'll take his base. Now in the field here, bottom half of the third, ground ball, steps in the bag himself, fires the first, and that's a 4-3 double play. Steps on the bag, fires over to first, and retires both runners. So it comes up later on here, top half of the ninth, now runner on first, 2 outs, down 6-0. As here comes the first pitch of the AB. As Sweet's going to take this one down the first baseline, past the diving glove of Hosmer. Runner goes from first to third with ease. Sweet's able to get to second base using his speed to get there before the cutoff throw. So he has a double, moves the runner over to third, and the Indians do up getting shut out, though, by a score of 6-0. Aldo goes 2 for 4 on the day. And now he's changing his batting stance yet again, this time back to a previous one we used, the Greg Bird batting stance. So we're coming up here now in a series against the Houston Astros at home. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2-1 count, bottom half of the second. Here comes the pitch. As Sweet's going to take this one into right field. That'll bounce off the bottom of the wall. So 2 runners are going to come in. The third one's going to hold up at third base. So Aldo picks up a 2 RBI double. Now comes up later on in the game. Cleveland up 5-2. Bases loaded yet again for Aldo. Bottom half of the fourth. Here comes the pitch, as Sweet takes it into the left center field gap. Center fielder has some trouble with it, and Sweet's going to head into second base. Ball just getting to the wall. He's heading to third. Throw into the cutoff man. He's not holding up a third, going for it all. Probably shouldn't have, as he's gunned down at the plate, but he does pick up a 3 RBI triple, getting those runs on the board now in the field here. Evan Gattis grounds at 6-4-3 double play. Nice scoop by Crone over at first base. As Aldo so far has a triple and a double on the day, with, I believe that's 5 RBIs so far, so 8-2 Cleveland lead. Here comes the pitch, as Sweet's going to take this one into the right field, and it's over the fence. Aldo Sweet solo shot, and that's 6 RBI on the day. He's got a 3 RBI triple, a 2 RBI double, and now a solo shot, so that's 6 RBI on 3 hits and 4 at-bats, 10-5 Indians victory. And now moving on to a series against the Minnesota Twins, tied 4-4 here. Bottom half of the fifth, nobody on, nobody out. Here comes the 1-1. Sweet takes it into the right field part of the stadium, and it's caught at the wall. Almost gone, but it was caught at the wall by the right fielder. So 4-4 tie here. Steps in the bag himself, fires over to first base. A 4-3 double play yet again, the second one of this episode. Now in the field yet again, runners on first and second, still tied at 4. Aldo, showtime opportunity in the field, dives to his left, from his knees, fires over to first and gets the runner out. Nice play in the field yet again from Aldo. So now comes up later on, bottom half of the 11th, tied at 4. No hits on the day so far for Aldo. 1 man on, here comes the pitch, as he's going to take this one into right field. It's back. It's at the track, it's at the wall, and it's out of here. Walk-off home run for Aldo Sweet. His teammates are waiting at the plate to swarm him, and swarm him is what they do. Aldo Sweet, 2-run shot to walk off the game for the Cleveland Indians. over the Minnesota Twins. They win 6-4. Aldo's only hit was the 2-run shot. And now we will move on into a series, into another game against the Minnesota Twins. Here up 4-0, or down 4-0 in the bottom half of the 6th. Full count, 2 outs, nobody on. Here comes the pitch, as Sweet's going to take this one into left field. It's back, and it's just barely over the fence. Aldo Sweet goes oppo-popo with the solo shot into left field. 1 for 4 in the day. Twins come out on top 7-3. Another loss for the Indians. As we will now move on to a series on the road against the Detroit Tigers. All knotted up in nothing here in the first inning, as Sweet's going to take this one past Kinsler into right field for a single. So Aldo Sweet starting off his day the right way with a base knock. Comes up later on in the game, 1 for 1 so far here in the top half of the 3rd. Nobody on, 2 outs, 1-1 count to Aldo Sweet. Here comes the pitch from Zimmerman, as Sweet takes this one into the shortstop gap. Iglesias gets to it, fires over to first, but the speed from Sweet is just too much as he picks up his 2nd single of the day. So 2 at-bats, 2 singles. Top half of the 5th now, runner on 3rd, 1 out, 1-0 count. Here comes the pitch. Sweet knocks that one into center field. That's an RBI single for Aldo Sweet, holds up at first base. 3 singles so far in the day and 3 at-bats. So now on the field here, in the 9th inning, ground ball, 6-4-3, double play, scoop from the first baseman, and that's the ball game. As Aldo Sweet, 3 singles on the day, the double play combo of Lindor and Sweet somehow coming with the victory. 3 for 4 on the day is Aldo, 3 singles, an RBI. Cleveland wins by a score of 2-1 over Detroit. So now another game against Detroit, top half of the 1st yet again. Tied at nothing, 2 outs, nobody on, 1-1 count. Here it comes from Sanchez, and that's going to be taken up the middle for a single for Aldo Sweet, starting off the day yet again here with a single. So there's a base knock, comes up later on in the field, runner on first, ground ball to Sweet. He'll toss that one over to second. Lindor fires the first and barely gets the runner. That's a 4-6-3 double play started by Aldo Sweet. Now comes up later on in the game here in the top half of the 9th, down 8-5. Only 1 hit on the day so far, as here comes the pitch, as he takes that one just barely down the third base line. It's barely fair. He's going to try to stretch this into a double for whatever reason. Getting too cocky there as he gets thrown at second base on the tag from Kinsler. The throw from, I'm assuming it's Upton in left field. As Aldo goes 2 for 5 in the day, lose 8-5 to the Indians. And now we're changing our stance yet again, this time to Freddie Freeman. So 0 for 2 so far in the day here against the Toronto Blue Jays at home, down 6-1. Bottom half of the 5th, 1 on, 2 outs as Sweet takes this one just barely down the first baseline fair. Runner will go from first to third as Sweet heads into second base with a double. Also advances the runner. And that would be all that would happen in that game as the Blue Jays end up winning 6-2 over Cleveland. And Aldo goes 1 for 4 on the day with a double. And now moving on to another game against the Toronto Blue Jays, this time up 3-0. 0 for 1 so far with a pop out in the first. Bottom half of the 2nd, nobody on, 2 outs. Here comes the first pitch of the AB. Sweet's reaching out and poking that one into the opposite way corner. That'll roll up against the wall as he's able to get into second base with ease. So another double for Aldo Sweet on the day as he picks up his 22nd double of the season. That's 3rd on the team. And the Indians end up beating the Blue Jays 8-2. Aldo goes 1 for 5. And that's where we'll leave things off this episode. We are in the middle of September, so almost towards the end of the season. Or we are towards the end of the season. We're almost finished with the season, as we're halfway through September, basically. And Aldo is currently a 97 overall. The Indians are 68-74 in the season, which is 20.5 games out of first place. Basically no shot at the playoffs at this point. And Aldo is hitting .254 with 25 bombs, 67 ribbies, 60 runs, and in 465 at-bats for the Indians this year, as he is still leading the race for the American League Rookie of the Year.
And in the personal columns, there was this letter I read.